Hi friends, WizD here, welcome to a new Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we're going to discuss the huge update news that Plarium dropped on us last week. Is it all good? If there are some bad aspects to it, what are they? What of it is more interesting for the majority of players versus like Krakens or in-game players or whatever? So I won't replay the video or anything, I'll just talk about the most important points and I'll give you my take on them. So let's start by the first update, huge update that they announced, which is Relics. So Relics is a new gearing piece. Of course, probably by now you've already watched like the other content creators' videos and Plarium's own video and everything about it. So Relics will be an additional piece of gear as we're seeing here on the screen, which will add stats to your champion. Let's go to the stats piece here. You can see it. Yeah, you can see it behind me. I don't think there will be anything negative from this. Relics on their own, and the gemstones that's going to be enhancing their priorities. We see here the gemstone slots. That might be more towards in-game, but why am I saying this is positive and not negative? So the negative part of it is how you will acquire the relics, whether it's in-game activities or packs, of course, if they are going to sell it. But the positive part of it that I'm seeing is that you'll get some of these anyways. So the worst that you can get is just a little bit additional stats to your champions. If you're in-game enough to start actually farming these from the new boss, which we'll talk about in a second, or from events and other areas, then that will give you something to do. If not, like I said, you'll just get some additional stats by just plugging whatever freebies they'll throw at us from relics. The only worry I have regarding relics is that it increases the complexity of gearing champions, which will be overwhelming for anyone that will start playing the game after it's released, probably in 2025. So it might be too complex and deter newer players from just getting into the game. But other than that, freebies, free stats, if you can farm a few good ones, then it's a positive in my opinion. Now let's move to the second piece they announced, which is Live Arena Seasons. Live Arena, they are pushing it down our throats. It's not that interesting for me and probably for the majority of you as well. So now they will have seasons, so it should be more interesting for PvP enthusiasts. They will have certain criteria to gears and champions, might be a little bit open for creativity versus just dumping money at the game to get the best gear and champs, but we'll see. Anyways, if you're not into PvP, this part won't be that important to you. Now let's go to the third part, which should be important for all of us, the quality of life improvements. We know we need a ton of these in Raid, and they're giving us some really good ones with the update. I'll give you my take on them now. So the first major thing is that they will give us background multi-battle, so you can do other stuff in game while you're farming campaign or dungeons or whatever. Raid is way late on this. Other games had this for quite a few years now. So yes, it's good. Thank you, Raid, for finally doing it. But you're really late that it's not like an achievement. You're just catching up because better games are being released against you as time goes by and you had to put it in somehow. They had the technical ability to do this way back, but they chose to focus on other stuff and not to invest into this, which is a bit frustrating, but finally we have it. So this is going to be a great improvement for a lot of us playing the game now, to farm in the background while gearing champions or doing other stuff. So that's a win in my opinion. They are also improving the gear cleanse part and how you forge gear, which is good. It's a win. We'll see it when it drops into game, how it will look like. And they are adding super raids in campaign. Okay, that would be good for farming campaign. Hydra instant battles. So I have a huge warning here. I do not believe they will give us Hydra instant battles with free regroups, because then people can retry 1,000 times till they get the best results. I believe, and you'll see if I'm right when the update drops into the game, if and when they give us instant Hydra battles, it will be without a free regroup. So you will either choose to play it the manual way, to spend the time and effort into it and have the free regroup or option, or you just optimize the team and then do instant battle, but then that will immediately consume your keys. I'm not seeing any other ways of implementing this without everybody having crazy Hydra numbers. Hydra is a big problem right now. People hate it, especially that after very messy, worst update ever that Plarium did to it. So I don't think that Instance Hydra battle will be a win for us. I think it's actually going to make things worse, and nobody will like Hydra anymore. Which brings us into the next major thing, the new clan boss, the new Chimera clan boss. Is it the best time, Plarium? I know they are throwing everything they have trying to make players happy after that phase of negativity that we're all going through right now, but is dropping a new clan boss after you just broke the previous one, the Hydra, without fixing it, the best thing you can do now? Because if Chimera flops, if it has a couple of major flaws, then it's going to be even a bigger issue. You'll have two clan boss on your hands that people hate. You're forcing people to do it. This one has a clash as well, so you're forcing people to do it for rewards, which people might not like. The only thing that we'll see when Chimera drops, I guess, is that if it's super interesting and fun for the majority of players, then it's going to be a win. People will keep ignoring Hydra as one of the worst parts of the game, especially after the messy update, but they might enjoy Chimera. So let's see. But it's a major risk for Plarium to drop this while Hydra is broken and being hated by the majority of players. I won't talk in details. There are lots of videos talking about this, about what we know so far about the Chimera mechanics and everything. I might make a guide for it when it comes out and I understand it more. It seems interesting. It seems a bit too complex in my opinion, especially with the trials that they add to it, but we'll see. When it's released and we know like the final version of it, I release videos of course talking about how early you can tackle it, whether it's fun or not. That's subjective of course, but I'll tell you what I think about it when it's released. It might give in-game players for sure more fun, especially if they finished with everything else. Will it be fun for the majority of players? I'll let you know when it's released. And then finally we have the new champions. I believe that of course Mother Noel, or I don't remember what they called her, but she's going to be the Christmas fusion. It just fits. Santa's companion. Will she be good or not? We'll know in a few weeks, but I think she's going to be a Void Lego champion and she's going to be the Christmas fusion. When they drop more information about her, I'll let you know whether she's good or not. Other champions, they're always good with that stuff, so yeah, we'll see the other champions. And then this is the mythical from Chimera. How easy or how hard is it to get him? We'll see, I guess, when the boss drops and we have more information about it. All in all, it's exciting and mostly positive, especially for in-game players who starting getting bored from all the rest of the content and who are just sitting there hating Hydra at the moment. For early mid-game players, it might be a little bit overwhelming with the additional complexities with the bosses and the gear and everything, but that's what we're here for. So when things get dropped into the game, I'll try to make it as simple as possible. For now, my advice for early mid-game players, just ignore what you think is too complex for you, till you think that it's the right time for you to tackle it. That will be all for today about the update. Thank you for tuning in today. I'll see you next time. Bye.